Hello everybody, I am doing this interview as part of a series organized by Clement. I am very much excited about this. I hope everybody will be able to learn something out of it, so let's get started. So my name is Lesley. I was born and raised in Cameroon, where I did all my primary and secondary education. So my very first high school was Lycée Bilingue de GBHS de in Yaoundé. And when I got there, as every new cohort, we had to write like an entrance exam to get into a class called the bilingual class. So I made it through and got into that class, which was basically made up of other very talented individuals, and overall the atmosphere was kind of like a competitive one, which means I had to work really hard. And at the end of the day, that hard work really ended up paying, because when I got in from 5, still at GBHS Itugebe, I got selected to write an entrance exam to get into a school which was then very new, called Enko Lagate International School. And basically that school, Enko Education, is a network of African schools offering international programs, specifically the International Baccalaureate program. A few weeks, almost a month later, my parents got called back and they said I was selected, and I had to go in for an interview, which I was very much excited about, especially how hopeless I felt after the exam. Then went for the interview and was really successful in getting to Enko Lagate International School. And from there, I would say that was a very pivotal moment in my life, because the IB was very different from everything I had been exposed to before. Because there, unlike the previous educational system where I was in, there was a lot of work that was required from the student. You know, you had to do a lot. You had to do some personal research, or some other kind of individual assessment that really required you as a student to be like that critical thinker, to be reflective and all those. So the atmosphere there was completely different. And another great thing there was it really made me as a student very independent, in the sense that we had to constantly be searching for our own opportunities and apply to those opportunities. And that really makes you realize that there are so many opportunities out there, but all you need to do is actually to actively be searching for those and putting yourself out there so that you can get those, because nobody will ever be grabbing those opportunities and just giving them to you all the time. So that experience with the IB really molded me into like the individual that I am today. And I applied to so many universities, mostly in the UK and in Canada, and I was fortunate enough to get an acceptance at the University of Toronto under the Mastercard Foundation Scholarship, which is a fully funded scholarship to help students, specifically from Sub-Saharan Africa, to pursue their education. And in less than a year now, I will be graduating from my Bachelor's of Global Health, Psychology and Biology. Together with an amazing team of other students, educators, community members that are both from Cameroon, Canada, and many other parts of the world, we launched a venture called SOAP 4237, and basically it aims at addressing the misinformation that exists around COVID-19 in Cameroon. And we do that by using soap distribution as a means of reaching out to the people. So the process is very simple. We basically reach out to our team members who are in Cameroon and working on this venture too. And these team members, who are located in specific quarters or neighborhoods back in Cameroon, these team members would reach out to the quarter head and basically tell the quarter head about our initiative. This is what we're trying to do, and also kind of to some extent get the permission and also do that with them if it's possible. So when we reach out to the quarter heads, we tell them this is what we're doing, we would like to get your help in this, and we give soap to the quarter head, and together with him go ahead, move within the quarter and distribute soap to people. And while distributing that soap, we not only provide like more information about COVID-19, but we also in the process help to burst some myth that exists around COVID-19 as a way of ensuring that people are actually taking real preventive measures that will protect them and their families from getting COVID-19. And the main reason why we're using soap is because soap is also like we use that as a means of also encouraging hand washing, given that hand washing it has been recognized as one of the ways to protect ourselves against COVID-19. And also in this process, what we do is we try to really support local women producers of soap, and we do so by buying soap from these local producers before getting the soap to the waterheads. And so far, we've made several distributions, mainly in Yaoundé and Bamenda. In Yaoundé, we've been to Etugebe and Tekase, and in Bamenda, we've been to several places like Opa Bayele, Opa Frutu, and many other places there. And so far, it's been a really exciting journey. When launching this project, why doing it, one of the main challenges we face and we actually keep facing is really the challenge of doing this whole thing remotely. Given the nature of the internet connectivity in Cameroon, it's been very difficult to really have have synchronous meetings with our team members in Cameroon to at least make sure we are all on the same page and ensuring that the venture is going on smoothly and everything is done the way it's supposed to be done, and really like to ensure we're on the same line. A way we've used to kind of address that issue is been to be really flexible, and that's in terms of not just having synchronous meeting, and synchronous meeting is basically having a meeting together at the same time. So we don't just have synchronous meeting, we also have asynchronous meetings, and that we do it basically by using WhatsApp chat, where we basically would just like strike up some discussions on the chat, and whenever someone is available or sees the message, that's when the person will be able to respond. Another challenge that we are still currently facing, and I would say to some extent it's actually a pressing one, is the issue of impact evaluation. It would be good to at least find a way to ensure that, or figure out a way to know that whatever we are doing is actually having an impact. I'll just tell you to go ahead and try, put yourself out there and actually do it, because at times we get so scared because we want to do something so well, we want it to be so right, we want it to be perfect, it has to be done, it has to be successful, and often don't realize that maybe at times we need to fail before actually learning something from the failure and be successful. So if you actually don't try, if you actually don't put yourself out there, you may not be able to achieve much, because you'd rather be in a situation where at least you've tried something and now you've seen the outcome, instead of not doing anything because you're afraid of the outcome. So the first thing I'll tell you is really to just be bold, be confident, put yourself out there and just do your thing. And also another thing I would say is be humble. Really be humble in the sense that be ready to ask for advice, be ready to go to people when you're uncertain about something and say, hey, this is a situation that I'm facing right now and I don't know what to do, because we don't always know every single thing. We all have limited knowledge in some areas, or we have a lot more knowledge in some areas, so you can always tap into everybody's potential. Really go to someone when you're unsure, go to someone, anybody that you know, and say, this is a situation that I'm facing right now, or this is what I'm trying to do and I'm not even sure where to start or how to start. And you never know what you can learn from it. And at times I know back home people get very skeptical because they are like, oh, this person might take my idea, or blah blah. Like that shouldn't be an issue, to be honest, because that mentality would literally stop you from doing anything. And even if someone takes your idea, that doesn't mean they're going to do it as well as you would have done it. So yeah, be humble and put yourself out there. That's what I would tell another teenager. I would say my family and my best friend have been the greatest and the biggest inspiration and motivation in my life, because they're always there hyping me up and congratulating me about my achievement. And sometimes there are just certain things I would do, and I do not necessarily consider those things as like, it's not a big deal, like it's not that great, but then the way they present it to me, or the way they make me, the way they congratulate me or feel proud for, because I've achieved those things, it really keeps me going. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel even more motivated to do a lot more things. And really, that having that kind of environment or people around me has been so motivating. Because some days you just feel like you're crap, like literally. So then you feel like you're crap or worthless, or you just, when you start comparing yourself to your peers, you feel like you're not achieving much or you're not doing anything great. But that's mainly because at times when we are overachievers, we really don't look at those small achievements. We don't consider them as achievements. But then when someone else actually makes you look at it from another angle, you realize, oh wow, I did this. And then you become grateful for all the things that you've done. So really, my family and my best friend have been my biggest inspiration and motivation, and I can thank them much for that. Like, you guys, thank you. If you watch this, thank you. I would say doing the IB, the International Baccalaureate program, has had the biggest impact in my life, because when I always reflect back on my journey or think about like how I got where I am today, it almost feels like it all started from doing the IB, like being at ENCO and doing the International Baccalaureate program, because that program really makes you as a student really independent in the sense that you realize that a lot of what you have to do relies on you actually putting in the effort. And the effort isn't just in terms of, cramming your books, but actually producing, because the IB makes you that person who is not just swallowing, but actually producing something. At times it was frustrating, because, we just want to have have our life very easy and just, memorize and pour it out. But that's not how the real world is. Doing the IB has given me or exposed me to so many opportunities, like the biggest one, of course, being here right now at U of T. And being here at U of T again, I've had so many opportunities. I've met wonderful and amazing people who have really helped me throughout my journey, help me get to where I am today. And I even see myself going even further, because of course I haven't reached my limit yet. As we say, sky is the limit. So but all the thinking and all the reflection always bring me back to that one spot is, 2015, studying the IB program at Lycée International School. So I have to be very, very, very honest. I'm not much of a reader, so I haven't read that many books, and I'm not currently reading any book. However, I do have an all-time favorite book, and I've read it so many times. Whenever I read it, I still enjoy it, and it's called Oedipus the King by Sophocles. So I read that when I was in the IB. In my last year of the IB, that's when I read the book, and it's basically a Greek mythology book which narrates the story of Oedipus the king, who killed his father and got married to his mother. And it's a very interesting story, I have to be honest, because it really brings forth that idea of destiny and fate, and really to what extent can we as human beings impact play a role in that destiny, or is it like every single actions that we do are geared towards achieving, what we were destined to achieve? So it's a very interesting book, and I'll definitely recommend, at least just for your own personal, fun. So it was very exciting for me making this video. As I said at the start, I really hope you're going to enjoy it or learn something from me. And in case you have any question, it could be about the SOAP for 237 venture, could be about studying in the IB or being a student at the University of Toronto, or scholarships, or really anything, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always ready and willing to help or assist in whatever way I possibly can. And feel free to check out our website at www.camerooncovid19.com and our Facebook page at #SOAP4237, #Savon237. We are actively looking for people who are willing to support the initiative in different ways, so feel free to also reach out to me in case you're interested and wondering how you could support it.